healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Oh my God. Hello and welcome to Lady Journey, everybody.
Welcome to Lady Journey.
Lady Journey. Before we get started, I just want to say, please like and subscribe. We are about to go on a maternity leave. It's going to seem like you've been pregnant for like 10 months by the time these go out, because we're backlogging.
We're backlogging, so we'll have November and December set up for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now this should be our first episode in November. So know that Sarah has just given birth. I'm likely crying. Okay. I've been isolated from my friends and family by choice, and I don't know what you'll be up to.
I'll be doing coffee runs, tea runs. I will be doing all that.
That's nice.
People are getting night nurses. Have you heard of this?
Oh, I have heard of the night nurses. I've heard it's quite exorbitant.
Joe was talking to a well-known comic. I don't want to name names because it's funny and nothing against, but when people hit a certain wealth bracket, they assume that you can afford.
They do. They're like, why don't you just do a month in Sicily? You're like, oh yeah, I was going to.
Where they're like, you should get a night nurse, and then you look into it, and you're like, it's $350 a night.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you need it for like 3 weeks. So it's like, I guess so, but we would go bankrupt.
Yes.
I have an MRI debt that I haven't even paid yet.
Yeah. Well, every night that you go without the night nurse, just know that you made $350.
Yeah.
Just pay that to your old self.
Yeah.
But yeah, something to take in consideration.
Yeah.
It sounds wonderful.
I know.
Yes.
It sounds so nice.
It's a luxury.
But then Joe and I were like, so what do you have? Just like a lady in your apartment?
Yeah.
That's
sitting
like,
there
wake
quietly.
Up, yeah, like here's the baby. And then you're like, huh? And then you feed it, and then you go back to bed again.
That's so they don't even feed it?
No.
For you? If $350, I want that woman's tit on my kid.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That's a wet nurse.
Yeah. That's what I'm
night
paying
nurse.
for. Bring me back to the 1750s.
Exactly.
Colonial.
Yes.
I love it. You went colonial quick. Now, have you seen these? They're like high-end luxury hotels, and they have one in Midtown where the mother goes, and the mother and the father go, and it's like a retreat with the newborn baby. So it's like you can stay for 2 weeks. I'm sure it's something exorbitant, like $5,000 a night or something. But they make all your food. They can give you like lactation consultant. It's like gorgeous hotel. I'm sure there's activities. Yeah. Right? Mommy circle group.
One night.
Yeah.
I have not seen that, but I have seen a TikTok of a lady in Korea.
Yes.
That it is offered there, but they still pay out of pocket. And she's like, it is expensive, but it's worth it. And it seems like even your husband's not there.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't want another person to take care of.
That it's just you, and they give you like sushi meals, and you see your baby like twice a day. That's it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Little visit.
A little, but not too much. And then you recover, and then just like hang out in a tranquil room and watch TV. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah. That's what we need. I need that now. If that was an option, I would have a baby, I think.
Yeah.
Just for the retreat.
Just a few hours out of the day to be like this.
Hey, buddy.
From across the room. Hey.
Mommy's resting now.
I love you very much.
Flash forward to 15 years, they don't even know who you are. Like, your touch scares me. Well, it was very rare for a while.
Yeah.
There's a girl on TikTok who I love. She does this character where, have you seen it? She's like Victorian nobility, and the baby comes in and she's like, yes, I shall see my child today. They bring in the baby. She's like, hello, how are you doing? Okay, very good. See you next week.
I haven't seen this, but I love that that's your algorithm. Yeah. Which feels very on brand for you.
Yes, women doing Victorian characters. Yeah. That's me. Kate,
Are you addicted to TikTok?
Oh,
That's all of our references are TikTok.
Yeah, that's the only entertainment I take in.
Yeah.
TikTok and Frasier.
What's your,
I love Frasier.
I knew that about
Frasier's
you.
really
It's
good.
coming back, baby.
I also like Golden Girls.
Yes.
Instagram.
Oh my God. Give me an episodic plot.
What's your algorithm that you're comfortable sharing?
I do a lot of earwax videos.
Yes.
Love those.
Interesting.
Yes,
Very
Getting rid of the
interesting.
earwax. A lot of cake and cupcake making.
Yes.
And then a lot of morbid facts. Oh, I love morbid facts.
Those are fun right
Morbid
before you go to
facts.
bed.
Yeah. I'm like, oh wow. It just makes
sleep.
it makes
More
you
TikTok.
grateful. That's all.
Yes.
It makes
Yeah.
you grateful.
I love a morbid fact.
Yes.
I follow a Twitter account that's just called Morbid Knowledge. And it's like, in 1988, man was found decapitated, but don't know where his body was, like,
Yeah. I
love
and they're
that.
like, we'll never know. And then I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yes. You
hear that, little buddy?
Yeah. It's nice to move on immediately without processing.
Yes. Or it'll just be like, woman ejected from plane from 1941 survived. Only survivor was raised in the jungle.
Yeah, by wolves. Yes.
I've heard that one. I know about that girl.
Yeah, she did great. Good for her. She makes me feel like I can do anything.
But I want to see, I love seeing, it's almost like going into someone's purse, but even more personal to check out people's algorithms.
What's on the feed? Yeah, because it really it reveals a lot called you. Like, what are your fears?
Yeah.
I got a lot of money saving ones on there.
I do too. I get money saving ones, and then
Yes.
I follow an account called Chubby Babies, and so for the longest time, I've just been getting fat kids.
Yes.
Just-
I love that. Have you seen the little boy that's like, I'm so proud of you? You know that boy?
Oh, I think I've seen, memes. He's appeared, they go, sometimes they're so good, they go on Instagram.
I was following his family for a while. I was like on board with the I'm so proud of you family. I was like, should I get merch as a dog whistle to the other weirdos? There's no pop culture anymore. It's like everyone has like their own individualized pop culture. It's like,
Yes.
the Spider-Man dancing guy. No?
Balloon Lady. Yeah. Like that one was or like, I like drama
yes.
on the
Yes.
TikTok page. And it's just like, no one in the regular world knows that you're enthralled with that drama.
yeah.
Cause it's like office drama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
There's one where
Like
it's
a craft woman where she's like, she's stealing my crafts. Those were my ideas. And you're like, but everybody was doing those crafts.
I love watching the one where the women are putting on makeup, but they're like PIs.
Yes.
She's private investigators, and she's telling you, so if you can, if I can see out of your window, shut your curtains, ladies. I see everything that you do. And then she's just going on this, like, she gives all the tea about this couple. This woman's great.
Oh my
And
God,
she's
I
just
love
putting
this.
on eyeshadow. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
You need a hook. You need a hook.
Yeah.
Makeup.
That's a red flag if you need a PI in your relationship. At
Yeah.
that point, I'm like, just dump him.
Yes.
Yeah. Just go through his phone.
Yeah.
Who can afford a PI? I mean, I can't imagine that it's cheap.
You could probably find some Task
Rinky-dink.
Rabbit.
Yeah. Yeah. Rinky dink.
It does feel like one of those jobs when I hear it on reality shows where they're like, and I'm a PI or an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're like, okay.
Yeah. This isn't real life.
You can
does-
just call yourself that.
Yeah, it seems hilarious in the gig economy. Like, I can fix your stove or I can stalk your husband.
Making it work.
Yeah.
I know. Everyone has like 18 jobs now. It's like, and also I fill out surveys online.
Yeah.
That's my new thing. I think I've gotten $7.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm doing surveys. I just click away. I don't even read it. Screw you, market research. I'm an 80-year-old man who works in consulting. Now, Caitlin, you're a nail girl.
I am. Although, don't look at these are bad.
Let me
Why?
see.
I love the color. It's cerulean. It's matching your top.
Yeah.
We've been on a journey with the nails. Okay.
Yeah.
The nails.
What's going on? Because I didn't know this, and I like a good nail thing, but I've given it up in this economy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get it?
It's a lot.
You're trying to get a wet nurse. So you can't be getting your nails
Can't
done.
get the, but I it's a luxury that I love, and it looks
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
Now, do you go more for like the relaxation or do you just love the pop of color?
I'm like, hurry up and get it done. I got places to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
You don't need to
time
rub my arms. Just
when-
pop them on.
when
Yeah.
you're under that light.
Yes.
They don't tell you how long you're supposed to stay there for.
Oh, you never
That's
know.
exactly what. Look at these.
You're there for an hour. Oh, so
thumbs.
you
All the time.
got regular. You got classic polish.
Well, here's the thing. I usually get gel.
Okay.
I get gel after gel after gel. All right. Love a
but
gel.
the UV can
Yes.
give a wrinkle
Stays
to
there
the cuticle.
But it started damaging my nails.
Yeah.
And so I had
It's
to
the
give them a
bad.
break. So I got the regular nails and I ruined it immediately. So now on Monday, I'm going to go and I'm going to get Gel X, which they're like
Okay.
fake nails, but they're not as damaging to your cuticle.
Is it the powder
Yeah.
thing?
No, that's dip. I've done dip before. It's
you
very
like
good.
dip?
I like dip. It makes it a little thick. So it looks like
Okay.
you have bubbles on your nails. So you have to have
What's
really
the
long
difference
nails.
between the dip and the gel?
The dip is going to be harder. It's like industrial grade.
Okay.
Like it gets them really hard, lasts a long time. It did great, but it was too thick. I looked like I
Yeah.
had bubble fingers and I hate
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's wild. Just
Yeah.
giant
Yeah,
fingers
like,
like a cartoon
"Arr!"
character.
Yeah, I did not
Did you
like it.
feel that your nail bed could breathe with the dip, the powder?
I have never once thought about my nail bed. I will tell you that right now.
The bottom of the list.
yeah, I got a lot going on.
Well, I
I'm like,
know
just
that
make 'em
gel.
pretty.
I know that gel. I've heard a lot of people having trouble with it because of the UV, constant exposure to UV. It's
See, I didn't
basically like a
know that.
tanning bed for your fingers, which is weird.
I had no idea because I thought it was more to do with I just picked the shit out of my gel.
That's why I don't get
after
it.
2 weeks, and
I
I
do
feel
too.
like I'm just pulling my skin off.
Yeah.
That is what that's if you do that too much. I have one lady that I go to who is phenomenal. She's very good. And
Here
it lasts,
in
yes,
Astoria?
at Wells Show.
Okay.
Go to Wells Show Nail. Very good. Okay. I haven't done the
Ooh.
Gel X there yet, but I'll let you
on
know
the
on
list?
Monday.
What do you think is a good price for a gel manicure? $40?
Yeah. 40. This woman, I would pay her 60. God, she's so good.
Yeah. How long does it
Cold.
last?
She's
Is it going
great.
longer than 2 weeks?
A month.
Really?
That's pretty good.
That's
Yes.
worth it.
Where it starts showing the moon of your, I call that
Yeah.
the moon.
I get
part.
those
see it growing.
immediately. My nails grow so fast. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
That's great. That's good though.
Sorry, I have healthy. Caitlin Reese was telling me, I had a long conversation with her, another nail girl.
Okay.
She gets a Russian manicure.
I've
where
heard
they-
about this.
What did you hear about it?
Well, they're like if you've never done it, they're like it's the best. It makes your nails look the best.
Because they're basically using like the drill that
Okay.
they would use for, from what I understand, like, when you get acrylics and you get it like drilled down, they're using
Smooth.
that, but for your nails, for
Okay,
your
so
actual
they're
nails. So
making it thinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're just going
Paper.
right through it. yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My nails are so thin right now. I can't be doing a Russian.
Yeah.
But I heard it lasts really long because they go underneath and it grows out.
Yeah,
Oh,
it looks.
that's how they do it too.
It does look good because a girl was like, I get my nails done and then I see this other girl and like my nails never look like that. And then she finally asked and the girl's like, it's for the Russian technique or whatever.
Honestly,
Wow.
I support Ukraine.
I do. So
I
you
get
cannot
it.
do
Yeah.
Getting
that.
these
The
Russian
Ukrainian nails.
nails.
They have nothing. There's nothing there.
Exactly.
Sorry, that was in poor taste. I support Ukraine. Now, Caitlin, one thing I love about you, we were talking about this a few weeks ago when we had brunch together in Denver.
We had a nice time.
Oh my God. We had actually, I forgot about this. We went for a brunch and then we went to an open house to tour.
I
It
love
was your
open
idea.
houses.
It was fun. And
It's
we
great.
Graham K was there asking, how much is this? She's like, 1.5. And we were like, oh, yes.
Oh, 1,000? Wow.
Wow, 1,500.
Just a few extra spots on the weekend. I
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, that's a mortgage.
Yeah.
But that was so fun. Do you do that often? Do you go to open houses?
I love when I'm home with my mom, we go to open houses.
That's your thing.
I used to also do it in Brooklyn because I was gentrifying a neighborhood and
Of course.
they had a bunch of open houses. So I would go on like a Sunday and I would get brunch and then I would go to like 2 open houses and
What
just
a
look
fun
around.
post-brunch activity.
I love
Costs
it.
you nothing. Often
Yes.
there are snacks there.
Yes.
At least some Chips Ahoy.
Yeah.
And I like just kind of looking at people's homes. Are they mainly staged or is this actual their decor?
Ugh, some of it would be staged, and you can tell because it's like that.
It's Wayfair
boho.
furniture.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's just like live, laugh, love. We love you.
Yeah.
know? And so I would go. So a lot of them in Brooklyn, not staged at all. They'd have nothing in them. You got to use your
I think
imagination.
I prefer not staged.
No, you got to get it staged.
Well, some stage I'm like this. It's too Wayfair that I can't get past it.
Well, I more just want to see where they putting the bed.
Okay,
You know, where the
gotcha.
side tables. Can it fit 2 side tables? Because in New York, they're so small.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it looks smaller without anything in it. I think too. So you want to be like, oh, okay, I can put a bed in here.
Yes.
Not this is a closet.
Yes.
Help.
Well, that's-
Why did I move here?
That's the thing I want to do in New York is I just want to go into everyone's apartment and see how they make it work.
I'm a
Yes.
street
Yes.
looker. I look in. I
Same.
look and I'm
I'm
like, what's
lurking.
going on in there? Oh, bookcase.
Nice lamps.
Yeah. Ooh, plant girl.
And I'm like, just get me in there. I got to hang out.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
cozy.
There's something fun about going to an open house too. Just like, now I'm the person that does this. Like I have money.
Yes.
It's kind of like stepping into a role like, pardon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon me. The rich are coming through to see what we want to spend our millions on.
Yeah, I'd like to think that they can't tell. And then I look at my shoes and I'm like,
cannot
oh,
tell.
they can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So that's a
We
clue.
looked insane.
Little
You had
bit
a
of
fun
clue.
hat.
Yeah.
I think you can't tell in New York who's rich anymore.
No.
And
Yeah.
I've heard this now. People have been talking about old money aesthetic, and we're getting it wrong. Especially this one guy who's like a mortgage broker in Arizona. Of course, all my information is TikTok. But
Yeah, so it's a random man's home.
and this does make sense because a lot of the people that I met that are extremely wealthy. So he was saying like he's like a mortgage broker, so he sees everybody's financial records.
Okay.
And all the ones that are like Mercedes, the BMWs, like the high end cars, they're an extreme amount of debt.
Yeah.
And it's the rich people, what they buy are like Toyota Highlanders or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a car that you would never expect. He's like, that's what they buy. That's why I
Yeah.
feel like even going into these open houses, people don't know.
Yeah.
They can't know.
Yeah.
They can't know that I don't have a car. And I never will.
Oh, I got a car.
Oh, you have your
Honda
Fiesta.
Civic.
Oh, I forgot. Remember
Because
your
you're
Fiesta?
loaded.
I do remember.
You're loaded and
I'm
smart.
loaded and
You're good with your
Yes.
money.
That's
Yes.
great.
That's the only reason why I have a Honda Civic.
Honda
Yeah.
Civics are great cars.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
I
they are. It's a
overpaid
good
for
car.
mine, but it was great.
I
Yeah.
like any car that's tiny.
Same.
Love a tiny guy.
It's a little too low to the ground. I got bad knees. I can't
Well,
be doing squats every time I get it. You know?
Cars are, roads in New York are bad where you bottom out. Do you ever? That's always an annoying part where you're driving. You're like this. Ugh,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It scrapes.
There goes the
bottom.
bumper. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me or it's so low that when I drive up to the stopper at a parking spot,
Yeah.
and then it goes and you hear it goes screw. I'm like, well, I guess I'm never
I'm
getting
here.
my car out of this.
I am stuck here.
It's gonna take the bumper with it as I leave.
That's hilarious. My God.
Now you're engaged.
Yes. And
Are
we,
you-
And we love your ring. We
Yes,
love your
you got
ring.
the ring.
You have
Don't look at the nails.
Stone. You have a 3-stone black diamond,
Yes.
2 diamonds on the other side. Did you choose this ring yourself or was it your fiance?
My fiance chose it.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
Any
so
guidelines?
surprised.
Any guiding?
Yes.
Any Ouija boarding to the right area?
Whispering into his ear at
Yes.
night. Rose gold.
My niece asked me. He worked with my niece,
Okay.
and she asked me, "What kind of ring do you like?" And it's my niece, and she's a teenager, so I'm like, "Oh, you want to talk to me? Okay, you know."
Oh, their approval means everything.
Everything. I was like, yeah, no, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So I sent her a bunch of pictures, and this is the ballpark of the pictures that I sent.
Very
Smart.
nice.
Mostly I was like, but I just want to make sure it's not like a blood diamond. That's
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about.
Did you, is it a lab made diamond or is it like a certified?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I could care less.
Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
to know.
And
I don't
I
need
like
to know.
ignorance
And it
is
can-
bliss for me on this one.
And also, if it's a lab diamond, fine. I
Yeah.
know it's a
Great. A
another-
lab diamond is amazing.
Great.
A lab
Yeah.
diamond, no one will know. No one will ever know.
No one will
no,
know.
it's ethical.
And I love
and
how
no
thin-
one died.
Yeah. Except in the lab. There's an accident.
They're huffing.
And I love how thin
diamond
the
fumes.
band is too. This is one of my favorite engagement rings that I've seen around town. It's so striking on you. And
I like the color, the gemstone with it as well.
the black
Thank
diamond
you.
is so chic.
It's very chic.
And you're
Yes.
not really like that much of a gothic girl.
No, but I'm also not I also walk around the West Village all the time, and I was like, I don't need people to see a real diamond and be like,
Cutting off your finger.
right. So it's like this one kind of looks fake.
Yeah, I do feel it's the millennial trend to you're going for something different than a diamond. You know, something that we invented that.
Yes,
Instead
gotta
of
be different. Stand
the
out.
Zales look.
Yeah.
No
The
offense
Zales
to the
look.
Zales
Yeah,
look,
yes.
but which I do think probably will make a comeback.
Oh, I love Azale's.
The
I mean,
tier.
I love a K Jewelers.
The Pandora.
Oh my God. The charm bracelet.
Yeah.
Now, Caitlin, you're a comedian. We know you from comedy, of course.
Great.
But you have this, we know who you are.
Oh my God. Sarah's like,
gentlemen,
she's just my neighbor.
Yeah.
No.
We know you from upstairs. Well, we've had
I don't know what you do.
Who is that?
My nightmare in reality. Oh my God, I'm wasting my life and
Oh my
time.
God. Yes, all of our nightmare. We're living it together. Now, what we know you from comedy, but you have a really interesting story, which I would love to talk about on here because we love quitting. We love quitting here.
Oh, I'm so good at it.
We're pro quitting.
We're pro quitting. You were on a completely different trajectory. I want you to talk about quitting the art world and going into stand-up. What was the quitting process like for you? What did you feel?
Sure. I mean, this is my third career.
Okay.
Our world
Yes.
is hard to break into.
Yes. It's well, first I wanted to do sports. I wanted to be a professional soccer player.
I love that you
wow.
choose all the
Failed.
things that women do not get paid.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just trying to be broke forever. So yeah, as long as there's inequality, put me in. That's what I want.
I like a
Well,
challenge.
there's a market gap.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
market gap. Now, I didn't realize. So you were doing professional soccer, and what was that like for you?
I played in college. All of my high school was just prepping to do to play soccer.
Wow.
And then I went to college, and it was harder than I thought, and I hated it. And it turns
Wow.
out you don't like soccer as much when you have to do it twice a day with
Yeah.
people you don't really like. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've heard that with most competitive sports, it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, you have to have a certain amount of natural given talent. There is hard, I mean, I believe in hard work.
But that's what I love about
Right.
sports. It's a meritocracy.
Yeah, God
And
chooses.
it's purest form.
Yes.
It's not like I just like her personality.
No, it's like if you're getting beat, people know.
Yeah.
It's true.
So-
So when you got to the point that you were like, okay, I don't want to do soccer anymore. Were you ever in a position where you were like lying to yourself, like, no, I can still do it. I can still do it. Did it take you a long time to come to that realization?
It took me a year. Yeah. Because I was on the UC San Diego team. And for a year, I was like, I hate this. No, I got to stick it out. I can't, I have to do this. I wasted so much time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You get into a denial because of
Yeah.
the sunken cost.
Yes. And my parents really believed in me, and the whole city did. They were like, Caitlin, hometown hero. And I was like, I was just a big fish in a small pond.
Wow.
All right. Now I'm in the
That's
ocean.
a big college too.
I'm tiny. Yeah.
Also, I would assume that's also a big college for women's soccer. Meaning
Yes.
like one of the top. Back in '96 when I graduated was Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still
They were the number one team in D2.
okay.
And when I joined the team, they had won the year before.
Okay.
Wow.
So they were champions. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes. And so I was on that team, and I was the worst one on that team. Maybe not the worst one, but I was on the bottom. And
That's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah. Never played a game. Thank you.
Wow.
Yes.
I've been
An
in that
accomplishment.
position, but it was early on in high school, and it was devastating
Yeah.
because they didn't let me know. So every time a sub was called, you're running up there like, and then he kept being like, not this game, but he was like in a bit, and then eventually the full game ended.
Oh.
And that was to this day probably one of the most devastating things that
yeah.
Mr. Roser ever did to me.
Mr. Roser.
Fuck you.
Fuck off and die. Jesus Christ.
That
He let
level
you
of-
get off the bench and
Yeah.
walk over? That piece of shit.
But then we found out there was a secret meeting between the parents that we weren't invited to discuss like they wanted to win state. And I would have understood that, but that's the thing with sports. It's just like we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
It'll break
it's a
your
tough
heart.
lesson.
This is actually fun. I was supposed to get cut the first year.
Okay.
We were playing, and what they do is they put a sign on the wall, and after each round of cuts, and so it was the cuts right before the final round, and they put it up, and then we were just playing like scrimmaging, and then I like got in a groove, and I made like a header. and no one else was going up for the headers or whatever. And so the coach came up to me and he was like, "Hey, so your name is not on the list, but I want you to come back." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Is it header when you hit the ball with your head?
Yes.
There you
That's
go.
something. Oh my
Nailed it.
God.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh my God.
What do you have to do to be on the soccer team? My God, that's insane.
Well, that was the fun part.
Yeah.
Because I was tall,
Yeah.
comparatively.
Yeah.
Well, although when I went to San Diego, I was middle of the road.
Yes.
When I was in high school, I was the tallest one on the field.
Well, that's the thing. It's so mind-boggling in sport. That was another thing too. Is like, so you're in this level, you're the best. You're the big fish in the pond, in the little pond. Then you go to the next pond and you think it's going to be the same, but it's mind-blowing where you're like, I thought I was top level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember that with sports, like we won division in the South region of Texas, but then we had to play Dallas Plano. Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Military like.
Yes.
You get to the game 30 minutes warm up and you see how they're warming up and you're like, oh, we don't.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
We are screwed. Yeah. It was so bad.
It is, and you realize you're like, they're operating on such a different level and you had no idea. And I feel like stand-up was like that for me in New York.
Yeah.
Moved here and then you're like this, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Things are different.
Yeah.
I was like working so hard to try and get a scholarship or get into a good college. And then I was under that impression until like maybe 5 years ago that if I just went to a different team, I might have had a better chance or something like that in high school. And then I talked to a woman who played for Baylor.
Okay.
And she was like, "Yeah, I was recruited to Baylor in 8th grade." And I was like, "What?" She was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, I signed, I was promised to Baylor 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was already going to
Baylor,
go there."
you
And I was like,
bitch.
"You were 13 and you got,"
Yeah.
that was crazy to
Well,
me.
we
Yeah.
love to tell ourselves these stories like, oh, if only I had done this or that. But it's like, the truth is, I think in a lot of these scenarios, it's really out of your hands.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
out of your hands,
Yeah.
which is comforting in a way.
Yes.
It made me so grateful that I quit. You know,
Yes.
You knew you
Yes.
did probably the right decision
I
instead
was
of banging
never
your head.
gonna
Yeah.
be Abby Wambach.
Did you feel shame when you were quitting? Did you feel shame?
When I got cut, I felt shame for about 20 minutes. I told my mom, she was sad, but then as soon as I hung up the phone, I was like, "Thank God,
Yeah, you feel better.
Yes.
free." It was the best. And then I went
That's
into
amazing.
art and then failed at that too. But
tell us about
took
the-
a little longer.
Now tell us
But
about
you're still doing it.
well,
Comedy's art.
comedy is art.
Comedy's art.
Yeah, my
Beautiful.
farting joke, a masterpiece.
But it's really a saying about probably the medical situation in America.
Yeah, you don't have
Yes.
health insurance.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what you're talking about. You
That
can't
is.
afford a gastroenterologist.
yeah, that's
I'm
what-
sharding every day. But I do agree with you. I think comedy's art. I think it's art for sure. But I think it must have been, was it harder or easier going from the performing? You were kind of doing multimedia, interdisciplinary arts.
So why from soccer to art? Like, did you have that also growing up?
Yeah, well, I wanted to be in plays.
Okay, yeah.
Growing up, and so but it conflicted with soccer practice.
Always.
Or volleyball
you
practice.
can't do sports in theater.
And I remember I got a call back for a play and I didn't even know. I was like, "Oh, I have to go back?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I didn't."
Yeah.
And I did drama in my senior year and I loved it. But I always liked taking pictures. And so
Yeah.
even when I was little, I was like, we had to do the pretend, like make a business work. And mine was a photography shop. And so I had
cute.
a camera. I know. And so I finally went to college, got cut from the team. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a photography class.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with it. And then I did it. But again, I wasn't that good.
But it's really hard in the art world to figure out what is.
Yeah.
There's a lot
It's
of bullshit in the
so-
art world.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so biased. It's so in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the experimental theater world, it was like down is up. It was like the fastest talking person who could make the most outlandish statement
Mm-hmm.
was just like applauded. Like, I think if my character was an animal, I think he might be a porpoise. People are like,
Yeah.
give him a grant.
Yeah.
So
No, it's just like I find that world to be one of the most difficult
Yes.
to maneuver through.
It definitely is, especially with what I was doing.
With video performance,
I was
right?
doing photography all the way until grad school. Got into grad school doing portraits, and then started experimenting in grad school and did video performance, which was really fun because I liked video editing and stuff like that. My thing for the longest time, I really just wanted to be an actress.
Yes.
But I
It's
would
hard
not
to say out loud.
It's hard to say out loud.
Yeah.
I didn't
It
think I was pretty. I didn't want to have to
my
have
God.
a eating disorder to be thin.
Well, we
you know,
we
so
didn't know about character acting.
Yeah,
It was
yes.
all ingenue stuff when we
Yes.
were younger.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be able to eat what I want, and I don't want to have to feel like I have to get plastic surgery and I have
know.
a mole on my leg. Everyone's gonna know I have a mole on my
Yeah.
leg.
It's pre Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, I know.
Pre Coolidge era. She gave so
my
many of us hope.
Well, it's like we were talking about when you're younger and you realize the teachers aren't offering you Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. Yeah.
You're like, as Katie, what did you get?
I was cast as the rat in the Nutcracker. I mean, my entire
Not even
yeah
the Rat King.
No, I was just a different other rat, which felt so shameful. I mean, it's like, am I giving rats? I had an identity crisis. There were several roles
You're
that
like,
I
you
had.
didn't even ask me to try out for anything else.
I
Like,
never read for the rat.
Yeah, I'm over here like committing 100% for 5 performances. I had a ton of roles like that too, though. I mean, it's so when you're in like the world of acting or like performing, it's so hard to not just take everything and internalize it as like a symbol of your own worth. You know, like I had so many roles where it was like I had a role where I was playing someone who had dwarfism, a little person in my high school
Appropriation.
yeah, production. Well, we had no one, so I had to do it. And this was years ago, and but it was
Before we knew it was wrong.
before we knew it was wrong.
that's your blackface.
It's my blackface. I just realized that now. I wish I had a photo. Oh my gosh. And my family would be so supportive. They'd be like, "Well, you stole the show again." I'm like, I have one line.
It was the line.
Yeah.
But even back then, you're like, that girl doesn't say anything, and you're giving her Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember even at that age being bitter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same. So bitter. I was like,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, just give it to Francine again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're like, why is she? It's like you can always tell when the teachers fawn over a certain student, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't get it when I'm sitting right over here.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory that there's something weird going on with like the drama teacher personality, where it's like you had a dream of being an actor. Clearly,
They pick up on it.
yeah, like it didn't pan out. Now you're working at a high school, and now you have this power. It's very like Mr. G in like Summer Heights High or whatever that show is, where it's like, oh, this is now more about this person deciding who is the chosen member of the group.
Yes.
And it's kind of disgusting. Okay. Message received.
You get the feeling that they're probably like, I'm about to throw a monkey wrench into this social group.
Yeah. Like I have an eye for talent.
Yes. And it's not who you think it is.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember once I did a Shakespeare competition when I was in high school, and it was like just like brought the house down with my monologue. Thank you. And then didn't get the award for, I didn't get it. Devastated. And like looking back, I'm like, that woman probably hated me. Is it true? It doesn't matter.
That's what you
That's the
tell
story
yourself.
I tell myself.
And there it is.
Yeah.
But we have so many coping skills to deal with this type of, I think, like rejection. When you want to be an artist and you want to be perceived in that way, you
Well,
just
it's not
end
really
up.
personal
It's not personal. It has nothing to do with you.
that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always the whatever the personal opinion of the picker is. Now, how long in the art world did you take before you pivoted to stand up, and why?
Yes. Tell us about the art failure. Tell us about the art failure.
Tell us about the art failure.
Give us the meat and potatoes.
Was there a straw that broke the camel's back,
I mean,
or just
yes and no.
I'm done?
It was. I was never good at it,
Okay,
but I liked doing it. You know, and then I got in grad school.
but that's liberating.
Yeah, what does that
Yeah.
mean that you weren't good? I mean, does it mean you weren't being celebrated kind of as a genius, or did you feel out of place in a way?
I felt out of place. It never came easy.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
I was always trying really, really hard to be deep, and I'm just not that deep.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Well, you're
it's
a
hard
woman.
to be
You're a woman.
pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not deep in the way they wanted me to be
Yes.
deep.
I see.
It's hard to take that seriously.
Yes, that's
Yes.
narcissism, actually, I think.
But I do say, I've been in your apartment. You have a good eye.
Oh, thank you.
You know how to curate.
Thank you.
And that's hard.
Well, that's actually the best thing that happened out of grad school was meeting my friends. I'm still in touch with all of them. They're very talented artists, and they had this passion for
Okay.
art that I just, you know how like you can, like men are able to memorize sports teams and sports facts very
Yeah.
easily. They were able to do that with artists, and I could not retain it. I was like, who is that guy again? I can't, I felt like
yeah.
I needed to do flashcards just to keep up with what they actually liked.
Kind of like not knowing who the Jerry Seinfeld is of the
Exactly.
art world. And you're
Right.
like, who's Coons?
Yes. Exactly. So I just never felt like I belonged there. And then I would try so hard. And then you see it. It's very similar to the comedy world in that
Yeah.
they have lists, top 10 people to watch out for, top this, top that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would nowhere near it. Didn't even run in the same circles as those people.
Okay.
And
But can I ask a question? Did those people come from, a lot of them from extreme wealth?
a lot of them came from Yale.
Yeah.
Some, I would say a fair amount were well off.
Yes.
But then it switched to the other. Now everybody who was other was
Gotcha.
It was the art world very parallel
got
to
self-aware of what
comedy.
it was doing. Well, because I every now and then I do like paying attention a little bit to what's going on in the art world. And there's a female artist. I do have to say I do like her stuff, but she ended up marrying a very well-known, one of the most like wealthiest art gallery owners that is the tastemaker of the art world.
Oh really?
Oh, interesting.
I think
gallery?
her name is Wentz or something like that.
Okay.
And he's a bald-headed guy. He's older, way older. She's like 25 or 26.
Ooh, I love
And
this
we're talking
tale.
about 60 or 70-year-old.
Art
Yeah.
daddy.
And people are horrifically embarrassed or jealous of her. But you're like, but it is good.
And it's hot.
Yeah. But it is interesting where you're like, her making that strategic move probably put her on the map and helped her. Like she would have been flailing probably for a good while.
Yeah, I mean, like they had like when I was in grad school, they had like one career day. It
Yeah.
was like one class where they're like, "This is how you make a living as an artist," and it's like, "Wow, this should be an entire semester long."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Instead, it's like, "Well, good luck paying your loans."
Yeah. It's like, keep going.
Yeah, just don't quit.
They don't talk about like there's nothing wrong with maybe pivoting into like, let's say, commercial. That
Yeah.
to pay the bills to maybe supplement your income to do your passion or
Yeah.
something. Because that is an artistic world as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
And there's also no
Or graphic design too. Or something. Yeah.
And there's no strategic planning in these type of educations.
Yeah.
It's just like, and you're painting, and you're like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
My friend Polly Schindler, I went to grad school with her. She's great at that. She's a fantastic artist. She realized I need to paint so that people will buy it. So she made smaller scale works.
Yes.
And then she also made textiles. She also sews.
Yes.
And it's all very much her aesthetic. And she's still able to sell, and she's only an artist.
yeah.
That's
Going
very
to
cool.
like
That's very cool.
all
Yeah,
those
Polly
art
Schindler,
markets.
look her up.
Check her out.
I'm
One of my
excited.
good friends.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
But you do have a great eye because we have been in your apartment, and your eye for decor is. Do you feel that comes naturally to you? Because I don't have that.
I don't either.
My space looks like a dorm. I've accepted it. It's never going to change.
And you live with the man.
I do.
Yes.
I'm very lucky to live with Steven because I can
He lets you do.
pretty much whatever I want.
Joe's the opposite.
Really?
Well, it's not as controlling, but it's a personal attack if I'm like, do we really need this framed Steve Martin Rolling Stone cover?
Yeah.
This is office art.
Yes.
Yeah. Comedy office. This is a comedy office.
Yes. Exactly. No, Steve, there is a print of an uncircumcised gay man above our TV, and he was like, "Well, I like that he has a watermelon."
That's all. Thank you.
He's great.
I love it. Gay with fruit.
Yeah.
I love that. Where do you get? Because you have a great art in your apartment. Are these prints that you're getting, and where are you getting these?
It's a mix. I do prints. There's a great place called Serial Press. They work with a lot of artists to make
Stereo Press. I will put
editions.
it in the notes.
Yes. They make a lot of additions with working with artists. Same with Hashimoto Gallery. They do a lot of affordable prints. And then my friend Will Hutnick, also a great artist. Will.
Lots of shots.
He's works with a residency called the Wysaic Project.
Yes.
And they do some affordable works with people who come through their residency. And they do a show every year. And so every once in a while I'll buy something from there.
That's what I want. I
do
just want
too.
to collect
I just want original
good pieces of art, even if it's prints.
Mm-hmm.
I just want nice stuff that I like to look at, not
Yes.
home goods, Marshalls.
No.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah, I'll send you a few links. Hashimoto Gallery, Serial Press.
yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 that I follow.
I will put them in the notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiny Splendor.
Tiny
Okay.
Splendor.
I think that's
love
what it's
that.
called. But they have a bunch of prints. But yeah, that's the one thing about, because after I finished art school, I started hanging art.
Yes.
And that is where you kind of develop your eye, because you're working
Okay.
with curators, you're working with museums.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle.
Yeah.
It is. It's a muscle. You kind of see, oh, that doesn't, like, I love doing a gallery wall, you know, with a bunch of different size. I love doing that because it's like, I can actually fit. It's like a puzzle.
We have one right now that bothers the shit out of me because I'm like this. What the fuck do these pieces have together? I have 2 African masks next to an art piece of Maine.
It's the kind of thing it has to all go up at once, I think, and not one at a time.
Yeah.
Like, and let's put it on the wall. You're like, no, no, please.
It reminded me of one time I went to the Applebee's here in Astoria.
Of course, classic night out,
Girls' night out.
Love the bees. Love the bees.
And I'm looking at the decor and I'm like, I don't understand. Why is there like a photo of Telly Savalas, the Acropolis, and yogurt? And then it took me a while to be like, it's Greek. It's all Greek. But
I
that's
love
the thing
it.
with the gallery wall. You're like, what do you... The thing that bothers me is like, it just bothers me that I have a piece of art from Maine that you get on, it's touristy at a gift shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next to my African mask. One is actually from Africa and one's from Pier 1 Imports that I can't tell you which one is from Africa.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
What's the theme here? We have stuff.
Yeah. We have disposable income.
Yes. What would you suggest for doing a gallery wall? I really do think this is stuff that Lady Journeyers.
This is very the brand.
We are now in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You always want it to be semi-symmetrical. Okay. So you start with the biggest. I always start with the biggest, the thing you want to stare at the most in the center.
So your magic eye poster.
Your magic eye poster.
I have a headache.
Yes.
They'll come back.
Yes. You put magic eye right in the middle, and then you kind of build around it. And I like to do like an X.
The X. You heard it here.
The X.
Very interesting.
And then you just want to make sure it's the same spacing in between.
Okay, like like if you're doing an inch, you want that all around the others.
Or divisible of it. So I do divisible of 3. So either 3 inches or 6 inches.
Okay.
Top and bottom. So make sure that they're all within that. Otherwise, it just looks askew.
That is hugely important. The math.
Yeah.
The math of gallery walls.
Yeah.
so
you don't
great.
think about it. Like, also, I love it when I go into an apartment and you're like, your paintings are too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always, and I do it too. Sometimes I'm like, you think it's right, and then you begin to look at it for years, and you're like, it's still too fucking high.
Yeah. 60 center. That's what you want.
What is it?
So you want to measure your painting. You want to find the middle of the painting, and you want it to be 60 inches off the ground.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Mind blowing.
We got to put these in the notes.
These are in the notes.
If you have like ceilings like this, I would do a 60 center. You could between a 58 and a 60
See,
center.
that one's too high, right?
I mean, it's too small for that wall. I would take that off and put something more prominent there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's one of
I'm trying to look around
That's
and see.
one of my originals that I'm actually pretty proud of.
Oh, you made that?
It's a gorgeous
No,
piece.
it's I bought it from this Marfa artist, Mary Baxter.
Oh, great.
And she has a cool space. Like, she got to let us hang out in her space.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I would put that on a smaller wall,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah. But it's
Like
really
right there, it
hard.
would be great.
This one right here.
Yeah, just a little baby guy. I also love little moments. Okay.
Oh, what? Get me into a little moment. What's
Yes,
a little
tell us
moment?
tell us a little moment. Yeah.
I'll tell you what a little moment is.
Yes. Little moments on Lady Journey.
Like in my bedroom, like you guys have been in my bedroom, right?
Oh, I'm there all the time.
I'm there right now.
A little moment would be where my mirror is, our tall mirror, and then above it, I have a little painting that says, "Oh my God, look at this tragic mess."
Okay.
It's an original from my friend Polly Schindler.
I love that.
And it's like framed in gold. It's very fun. And I just put it right above the mirror because I think that's hilarious. It's like you're looking in the mirror and it's like, oh my God, look at this. That's a little moment. It doesn't make any sense within the rest of the room, but it's a little moment.
Like it's irreverent. Mm-hmm. I have that with, I have a little cross stitch that says eat me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I put that in the bookshelf area.
Yeah. I love that.
Just like a fun little nook.
A little moment.
Yes, a little moment.
Yeah.
I love a little moment.
I like a little moment with the side table. See your side table over there? You can even take that and just put it
a
low.
little moment over there.
A little moment low on the side table.
This is really new territory for Lady Journey. I don't think we've ever talked about
this is
little
a wild
moments.
journey.
Yeah,
Wild journey
I love
that we've
it.
been on.
It was literally my job for, I think, a decade.
Creating moments.
Yeah.
What is this? This is a kind of a little moment
This
right
is a
here.
little bit of a
this
moment.
is a big moment.
This is a mess. This is a total mess. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
Why do you have a lighter here and then a Sharpie? I just
Okay.
want to throw it all.
No, this is the vibe of Lady Journey. Can you help us curate this? We have to wrap up, but can you help us curate this? I'm not kidding. Caitlin, you're so awesome. Thank you for being with us for Lady Journey today.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, please like and subscribe to us, guys, below. Like and
Yes.
subscribe.
And where can we find Caitlin Peluffo?
At Caitlin Peluffo on Instagram. Please, for the love of God,
Make it
follow me.
happen.
Yes.
Household name.
Yeah.
Household
Please.
name.
I can't fail at 3.
Aloof.
I can't fail at 3. I can only 2
Yes.
is enough.
Well, you're not failing. You're doing great. You're thriving.
Yeah.
Sometimes we all have
You're
to
in a
remind
trajectory.
ourselves. You're skyrocketing. I saw you last week. You were amazing.
Oh, as were you. We had fun.
Well, I didn't
Wait,
do that
how
great.
are you guys
but
both in Denver at the same time?
We did the High Plains Comedy Festival. Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
It was
It
fun.
was. It was delightful. It was delightful.
Yeah, we had a nice time.
Well, anyway, bye. Lady Journey.
Bye.